are led by Kyler Murray.
I believe it's Chris Streveler.
When you see him walking a little bit, just it doesn't matter. You don't want that guy playing, right? He is not Kyler Murray. And this team depends on Kyler Murray. When you saw him walking a little bit, it looks like his hamstring a little bit. So that helps ease the burden of you worried it could be something significant. I haven't talked to anyone there, but just kind of the way he looks and walks, look like a little hamstring. But if the Arizona Cardinals position themselves to allow the Chicago Bears to be in the playoffs, I mean, goodness gracious, that would be a turn of events. Mitch Trubisky's benched, then he comes back, and then down there in the playoffs, and then he goes out and does what he does not usually do, which is win games. So it's just going to be a big old mess, and there's going to be some upset fans either way it goes.
Yeah, Steve, listen, I don't know how you have the Niners, who haven't been in Santa Clara or in California for the last, month, come in and beat you at home, right? And to me, I don't know, maybe it's the Niners are just more competitive. It just seemed like the Niners just wanted it more when you watched that game. The guys were flying around. Fred Warner was everywhere. Jason Verrett is locked up on Hopkins. You have Witherspoon, who's been kind of an outcast and come back in. He's making plays and getting interceptions. It just seemed like they were off today. It just wasn't the Arizona Cardinals that we were used to seeing. But late in the year, this time of the year, and again, I know, on Instagram and Twitter, people are going to be on my line. I only went to the playoffs once, so I don't know how it is as much as Steve and Irv over here, but you got to play your best ball in December.
You do.
Okay, so now, of course, it is December, and these playoffs are right around the corner. We only have, after tomorrow, one more week of football, and then that is it for these teams. Obviously, in the AFC, it is a very close race as well for the AFC wildcard. The Dolphins have that final spot right now, but there's a very slim margin of error there. They have the same record as the Ravens at 9-5, but the tiebreaker puts them over the top with a better conference record. The Raiders at 7-7, they need to win out and get substantial help to get in at this point. So with the Raiders season on the line, Derek Carr will start tonight. Carr injured his groin in the Raiders' second drive last Sunday in the loss to the Chargers. Marcus Mariota well, but the Raiders, they ended up losing in overtime. So at this point, we weren't sure about whether or not Derek Carr would be able to go tonight because of that groin injury, but he said he was going to try and do everything he could to get out there tonight. Irv, how do you think he'll play?
Well, coming back from a groin, and after watching Mariota play pretty good, I thought he said, I better get back out here. But listen, they need Derek Carr. If the Raiders are going to do anything, they need Derek Carr to play the way he played in that first game against the Chiefs. That's their ceiling right there. We've seen a few games of their floor this year, so they need him playing back towards that kind of way, being able to make plays downfield, and especially on this defense who can get to you and then turn the ball over on the back end.
We've seen it happen time and time again. So Carr is back up and running in the lineup tonight against this aggressive Dolphins defense, Irv. For more on what to expect tonight, let's send it out to the two gents on the call, Joe Davis and Kurt Warner.
Brand new Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, the site for this big matchup on NFL Network with the Hall of Famer Kurt Warner. I'm Joe Davis. How about the Miami Dolphins in the second season under Brian Flores? They win their last two games they're in, and they're doing it with a rookie quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa.
And a lot of people had questions whether this was the right move by Brian Flores when he went from Fitzpatrick to Tua, but he has not disappointed. And what I love so much about the young guy is maybe it hasn't been a bunch of fireworks, but he understands the makeup of this team. I don't have to win games by myself. I can continue to learn, manage the game, and not make mistakes.
He's got the #1 defense in the NFL helping him out, of course. And that defense is going to go against, it sounds like, Derek Carr tonight, which is a bit of a surprise. He left their last game with a groin injury, but as he so often has throughout his career, finds a way to make himself available.
Yeah, I covered the last game, and I thought there was no way Derek Carr would be out here today, but I'm excited to watch him in person. He's quietly had a really, really good year. I believe the problem with Derek Carr, though, is he feels like he's got to do everything for this football team. A lot of issues on the defensive side of the ball. If he can just relax and let the game come to him.
Like for you in the last two halves of football where you guys have just been so dominant? Yeah, we played pretty good the first half today. Played really good the whole game. Blaine went in and did a great job. It was great to see. And a lot of guys made plays. Mike made a bunch. Chris made a bunch. AB made a bunch. Tyler made one. Keyshawn made some. Leonard did. So it's just a great effort by the whole team. And just happy for all of us to win the game. And it's great to be 10-5. We were 8-5. We 7-5 at the bye week, and then won 3 straight. So, been really important. And we got another big one next week against Atlanta, and then whatever happens after that is bonus for all of us. So,
all right, we'll go over to Ira Kaufman.
Hey, Tom, you're going to have to go to wild card route, Tom. And in 07, you saw a team get hot and what they can do with the wild card route. Does that faze you at all, Tom? And does this season make it a little bit easier in terms of empty stadiums, maybe going on the road?
We got a home game next week against Atlanta, so that's what I'm thinking about. I'm going to try to go out and play great football next week, and didn't play very good in the first half of Atlanta. I only played one half today, so I got to go out there and play well next week.
We'll go to Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Tom, congratulations on the win. A lot of your Patriots teammates were accustomed to making the playoffs during your time there. This is the first playoff trip for most of the Buccaneers, especially some old Buccaneers like Levante David and Will Golston. Do you have an appreciation for what those guys are feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm happy certainly just happy we won the game. And, we're 10-5, and I know that gets us a spot. But I think there's still, a big week ahead of us for preparation and improving as a team. And, we're playing better, playing more, just consistently. And it's been great to see. And I know, there's a lot of guys who have worked hard to get to this point. 10 wins gets you something this year in the NFL. It gets you a spot in the playoffs. There's going to be a bunch of teams that make it this year, and there's only going to be one team that ends up happy. So the more time we can spend improving as a team, improving as a quarterback that I need to do, then the better it is for us.
We'll go to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Tom, first off, congratulations. Michigan has been a very special place for you, right? And I know that 300 career games, you talked about it already this week. It's certainly a milestone, but for you to go out there and to perform the way you did, even in just a half of football, one of your best halves, if not your best half of football in your career, what did it mean for you to be able to do that and in turn clinch a playoff berth at the same time? Just how special was today's performance for you?
Well, I love playing, and the teammates that I have, I've always feel like, I never want to let them down. So I know it's been that way for, 21 years of my career. I just try to show up and do the best I can do every week and every day, and realize that the competition isn't only on Sunday, the competition's every day of the week. And, I've got a lot of guys on this team this year that have made a great commitment to one another, and we're committed to being the best we could be. And I know at different times we haven't played the way that we're capable of playing. And when we do play the way we're capable of playing, we're pretty tough to beat. So we got to figure out how to do it more consistently in the best possible way. And we play another division opponent at home. And, I'm going to be excited to get out there and play and see what we can accomplish.
Time for a few more. We'll go to Greg Allman.
Hey, Tom, in these 3 straight wins, it's also notably 3 games with no offensive turnovers, not only for you, but for the whole offense. I just want to ask you how critical it is that you guys play as clean as you are heading into the playoffs.
It's important. I mean, turnover differential and turnover margin is one of the great stats in football. And anytime you don't turn it over, you're making the other team score on a long field. And if every drive ends in a kick, I think you're doing pretty good on offense. So I try not to turn it over. And I know I have turned it over a few too many times this year. I'd like to turn over never. And, it always feels good when you come out of a game without turnovers.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
All right, last one will come from Joey Knight.
Obviously, the slow starts have been a sore spot. That wasn't the case today. What was the key to the very fast start today?
Just good execution. I mean, the guys were making plays for me all over the field, and I try to just give them opportunities. And we have a lot of playmakers, and they just want